Hey, everybody. We're live. This is Kimberly, Soul Retriever Ridgeway. And on the phone, I have a very special guest. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Anita, also known as Aria Sparrow Song, and my website is www.tarotandstars.com. I've been doing the tarot and reading astrology charts for over 45 years now. A lot of what's happening right now, you can see right in the sky above us. So lots of things are changing. It's pretty exciting, especially for empaths.
Yes.
And, there's just a lot going on. So
just about every empath I know is they're hitting a 12 on a scale of 1 to 5.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's off the chain right now.
It's been I don't know, several weeks of discovery, of knowing what we can handle and what we can take. A lot of the energy, you just have to kind of let it bounce off of you, but then there's other stuff that you just have to navigate and work through. And that's basically what I've been doing, and everybody I know that's an empath has been doing the same thing. So we're all feeling it for sure.
Yes. So and I'm putting up your website right now. This is Anita, guys. And this is our website. It's www.tarotandstars.com. So this new moon, Anita, tell me about this new moon that we're experiencing, and it'll hit its crest in about 7 hours today?
I think it's going to be about 2 or 3 hours. I think it was 5 in the morning, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can look that up, but it is the new moon. It's at 23 degrees Capricorn.
Okay.
There's a lot of weird aspects happening with this one. It can't be just a new moon that's, auspicious. It has to be a strange one, because right now truths are being revealed.
Right.
So one of the things that's interesting when I'm looking at this chart is that the cluster of planets that are around the moon itself,
yes,
are all above the horizon.
Oh, you're kidding.
The thing that's below the horizon, which has me concerned, is the North Node,
okay,
Mars, and it looks like Uranus.
Well, at least it's not Saturn.
Right. The huge cluster, which is in the 10th and 11th houses of Capricorn and Aquarius, include Venus, the Sun, of course, because the Sun basically is conjunct the Moon during the new moon.
Right.
Then there's Pluto. Then there's Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury. So you've got, as I'm looking at this, Venus, the Sun, the Moon, and Pluto are all in Capricorn.
Oh, wow.
Saturn.
So Venus, the Sun, the Moon,
and Pluto are all in Capricorn.
Okay, so Venus is about love.
Yeah. It can be about love, but it's just, there's so much more to this.
It's also about wealth.
Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury are in Aquarius. And then down in the 12th house, which is really significant,
right,
Neptune in Pisces.
So what did they do together?
This Neptune thing is that again is secrets, things that are hidden, things that are below the surface.
Are now above the surface.
Yeah, this is above the surface because it's in the 12th house. But I just listened to another astrologer tonight explain that to me. And he said that it's the 12th house is right before the ascendant, which is the rising sun. Anything that is uncovered, is being uncovered, or is hidden, still can't be seen because of the light of the rising sun. So I thought, that's really interesting. I never looked at it from that point of view. So the South Node is in the 9th house, and that's in Sagittarius. So I'm looking at all these planets, and I'm thinking, this is such a cluster. I don't want to say the F word, but you know what I mean.
Right. Kind of indicative of what we're going through, but now it's going to get a little bit more intense, is what you're saying?
I think so, yes. And then the aspects of these planets, in particular the Pluto, is it's definitely aspecting off of that Uranus and Mars, which are both in Taurus. So this is talking about the home, the homeland. I always think of Taurus as your home, and everybody I know that's Taurus has the most beautiful home. Well,
yeah, they do.
We're looking at what is our home, because it's not what we thought it would be. And now we've got Mars, which is the god of war, the planet represented by the god of war,
right?
And it's almost conjunct Uranus, which is unexpected, unplanned events.
So this is the trump card.
Basically, I would say yes. Yeah, that's what it is. So this is there's some really, really interesting aspects that go along with this. There's the new moon, which is conjunct Pluto.
Okay.
And that's dealing with personal power, your ability to influence outcomes.
Yeah.
Things. If we're looking at our country and our government and things that are going on with that, this can be about controlling and manipulative behavior. Well, we've already seen that with, corporate media.
Right.
Because we really are really, really being controlled at this point. Yeah, people are paranoid. That word comes up in my notes for sure. Paranoid, being paranoid. I think a lot of people are scared for what's coming.
Let's qualify that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really paranoia if there is an actual probability of over 30% of your day-to-day not going as planned?
That's interesting.
Is that really paranoia?
Maybe not. I mean, that's pretty much paranoia. I always look at as not realistic.
Exactly.
So if you're talking about 30%, that becomes a reality, then maybe not. Maybe it isn't paranoia. There's a line drawn between paranoia and being realist.
Exactly.
Being realistic.
And
so
I just want to throw this out there, okay, because we brought it up about being prepared and where we're at, and all the empaths right now are feeling it. This is why people are jumping on the live when I go on at midnight. Okay. A lot of people are awake. A lot of people aren't sleeping. A lot of people are feeling something is fixing to happen, or something has to happen, because the pressure has built up so much. There is a possibility of things getting a little strange. There's rumors. Okay, there's lots of rumors of all sorts of things that could be happening. Realistically, all you need to worry about are your four corners. That's it. What's going on in your home. And
Right.
so logically, after living in Louisiana and South Louisiana, there's just, and you live in Florida, so there's a certain level of preparedness that most people should have. And this is realistic without going crazy, without being, and let's just say we all know that tomorrow by, let's say 11 o'clock in the afternoon or in the morning, that your power's going out. Well, what do you need? You need batteries. You need a flashlight. If you're going to depend on your cell phone to be your flashlight, you have a way to charge your cell phone without power. So you can get some of those little power sticks and charge them up, and you can get a solar phone charger. I don't know where they sell them local. I got mine online. But just a bathtub full of water. Should there be water disruptions, you can at least flush your toilet with that water, and maybe clean the floor or whatever. And just common sense, fill up your car with gas, because as we know, when the hurricanes come in and go out, well, the gas stations go down because they're powered with electricity.
Right, exactly. The pumps don't work without electric. So
yeah.
There's a certain degree of preparedness. Of course, living where you are, living where I am. But there's also, everybody's got some kind of bug out bag or a bug out box or something in their car, which has some emergency supplies in case you have to get out of town quick. And we also have the random tornadoes, the random flooding. One thing I can tell you about being in Tampa is just I'm living in the heart of the city in a pretty yuppie kind of neighborhood. It's young people, upwardly mobile, young couples with children.
Yeah.
That kind of neighborhood. And it is unearthly quiet out there. And I live a block from the interstate. A block. And so I hear, sirens. The traffic is kind of like a white noise most of the time. And, I'm not hearing anything. And it's really strange. Like, we take the dogs out pretty late, and I make my partner go out with me because I don't like to go out there alone. The reason I take them out late, they're senior dogs and they have to go to the bathroom, or they get me up at 5 a.m. to go.
Right.
So I'll get them out there pretty late, right before we go to bed. And I don't go out there alone anymore. It's just very eerie and very creepy for it to be this quiet in the city, in a major metropolitan area. So that has been freaking me out a little bit, is just the lack of noise. You think it'd be the other way around, but it's not me.
Well, what we saw here today, I rarely, and I mean rarely, see a plane in the sky. We're not on any flight paths. The closest airport, we've got a small airport here and people do fly in. However, not common. And at night you can see the FedEx planes, but you'll maybe see 2 all night. So today we have had so many planes, and they're flying up high, so you can't really, not high, but you can tell they're black planes. I'll just put it that way. And some helicopters, and we're not on a flight path, and so that's kind of strange and unusual. And but
it might be reconnaissance aircraft, or
it makes me feel it makes me feel safe. I'm not going to let any of all this push me into feeling weird.
Right.
Because that's what I can control. I can control my reaction to everything that's going on.
Right.
Okay.
The aspects are just very strange when it comes to the planets, because the new moon being conjunct Pluto, of course, but this is really a transformation. The new moon with this aspect of Pluto, conjunct Pluto,
yes,
is a transformative power, and it's a soul evolution.
Oh, wow.
So this is also a new moon where it's time to improve your situation, make repairs, make adjustments, and eliminate what's unnecessary.
Oh.
So if you're looking at this from a larger scale, it's very, very fitting.
Yes.
And then we have these other aspects, and I'm just going to list them here really quick off my notes. We've got Mars square Saturn.
Okay.
Jupiter square Uranus. Mercury square Uranus. And Venus trine Uranus. So let's break these down a little bit.
Yeah.
Mars square Saturn brings a lot of frustration, especially for those that have Mars predominant in their charts.
Okay.
I'm an Aries, so if I'm restricted from doing something or saying something, and I want to do it, I'm sorry, I'm really, really, really highly pissed off if you restrict me. And that's what that's the kind of energy that Saturn will bring in. It's not anybody with a Mars predominant in their chart, depending on what house it's in. And
so that's about 8% of the population, right?
Yeah, well, everybody has Mars in their chart, but it depends on where it's placed and what sign it's in. But most of the time, it's going to be that spark of creativity. It's going to be expressing your own passion. When you're restricted from that, as an Aries, for example,
right,
that is like tantamount to like putting us in a 2x2 cell.
Oof.
You know? It has driven me nuts all day, I must say, because I've definitely felt this today.
Okay.
Jupiter square Uranus. This is almost like a dichotomy. Uranus is breaking free of those restrictions.
Yes.
It's a big change happening, unexpected change. It can be good.
Right.
And I think in this respect with Jupiter, it can be a good change simply because Jupiter brings more. So the big question is, what is it bringing more of? So if it's auspiciously placed in your chart or it's negatively placed in your chart, I'm talking about Jupiter.
Right.
Uranus would bring unexpected changes to that.
So the Sagittarians are fixing to have a good day, huh?
Right. It can be extravagance. It can be erratic behavior. It can be change for the sake of changing.
Okay.
You know, like just really weird, strange behavior. And really, it's almost like not a time to take risk. You know, like don't go and bet on the horses, for example. You know.
Well, we are in a very risky situation right now.
Yeah, we're in a risky situation right now, and this is not the time to be taking risks. So there's going to be a lot of people that are taking risks that probably shouldn't be. And that's going to be, in other words, stick with your plans.
Okay.
I think is really important, and don't change your plans because of some kind of interruption that you didn't expect. I think that's probably good advice. Mercury square Uranus. This can bring really lots of unexpected change, but it has to do with communication. It has to do with news, unexpected news. It can be how you travel and get around. Really weird, strange behavior.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
And really, it's almost like
God.
not a.
Okay.
Okay, there it goes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sound check.
So, yeah, that was the sound check. That sounded good. But so if Mercury is the planet that deals with weird, strange behavior.
I'm sorry. It's my computer.
Mercury is the planet that's dealing with short-term commuting, short-term traveling. It's dealing with how you communicate with others. It has to do with how you communicate online, over the phone, anything like that.
Right.
High tech and computer falls under Uranus, but actually communicating with people on the computer is definitely Mercury.
Okay.
It's anything written on paper. News is a big thing.
Okay.
Like newspapers, for instance. So there's like a real irritation, agitation, and it is a time where you can look at things from a different viewpoint, maybe.
Okay.
For some creative breakthroughs, and that's okay. But the rest of the stuff, depending on where your Mercury is placed, where your Uranus is placed in your chart, and what signs they're in, is going to have a lot to do with how this affects each person differently.
So, as rough as this is fixing to be, what you're telling me is your astrology is fixing to play a large part in how you react to this.
Yeah. Your personal natal chart. If you're going to take a look at your personal natal chart and see where these planets are and how they're interacting. Because I'm looking at the chart now in my notes, and all these planets are all balled up, in two signs, in
Right.
Capricorn and Aquarius. Well, that's happening in somebody's chart. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
It's extending from my first house into my I believe into my third house. It might be into my second house, which is really has to do with me. That's the first house is the id, the
Yeah.
me, the I am.
Yeah.
The second house is those things that you love. It can be your home. It can be those things that are personal, that the tangible things that you put your hands on. I think people are going to learn a lot about how to give up material possessions, because I don't think those are going to be important anymore to a lot of people. And
well, that's just indicative of moving on to 4 and 5D and new timelines.
Right. So, you may love your $250,000 home or whatever, but, don't be married to the fact that you're going to be in that home till you're 90.
Right.
Because that may not happen. So, the universe has other plans. So then we have a really kind of sexy aspect with, I don't know, maybe people are staying home and having sex. I don't know. But it's Venus trine Uranus. Stimulates affection, brings excitement to your love life. If you're single, you're gonna meet somebody. And if you're married or in a relationship, your closeness to that person is going to be, and I think it's going to come right down to the fact that we need each other so desperately. And I think that that's going to happen, and that's going to be a beautiful thing. I think that will also take the stress off. It will be, a positive influence to bring people back to their own humanity.
Yes.
And what really matters is love. So I think that's a beautiful thing.
It is. I mean, it really, really is. And so when do you see the planets maybe shifting out of this cluster F?
Well, cluster F. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look at these planets right now, and I'm going to tell you what are the fast-moving planets.
Okay.
The fast-moving planets, and they're going to be out of the way within a day or two. Mercury, Venus, the moon, Jupiter, Saturn, all the outer planets. I'm looking Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto. They're going to kind of be close together for a while. The sun is going to move tomorrow. So the Venus, the sun, Mercury, and Jupiter will be out of the way. But those three.
All right. So the sun's moving tomorrow, and the sun was what was blinding everything.
Yeah, the sun's blinding everything because the sun is conjunct the moon. You can't see the moon in the sky tonight because it's a dark moon and it's not there. During a new moon, usually the moon rises at like 10 a.m. It can be any time like in the morning.
Right.
But you won't see it because the sun is so bright in the sky. But it's there. Okay. So it's actually under us right now. It's under us, and it's not visible in this hemisphere because we're in nighttime.
Well, I want to share something with you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So the sun is moving away tomorrow. Around what time? Around what time tomorrow is it going to?
Oh, well, the sun will just come out, when it normally rises, and it will very quickly, within a day or two, it'll be out of Capricorn and it'll be in Aquarius. It'll be in Aquarius for maybe a day or two, then it'll go void again.
Okay.
And it'll go into the next sign.
Okay, so I think that while my gut feeling is while it's in Aquarius, we're going to see some stuff. I came across something today. I got to give props where props are due. JSNP 4. Okay.
Okay.
He was, I'm not sure I was sharing your website. Well, yeah, I was. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me just click on that real quick. This is Anita, y'all, in case I didn't click on her. And so this is Anita. This is her website. And so I was listening to JSNP 4, and he says there's some interesting, they do this SEVEN team. They'll post something, and then it doesn't really come to fruition for a year or two. And so I wanted to read a few of these because I think they're kind of interesting.
Okay.
And this was posted January 13th, 2018. We are fighting for life. We are fighting for good. We are at war. Not everything will be clean. Scare, necessary event. Do you trust the U.S. military? Do you trust the chain of command? Have faith. We are in control. Patriots, Patriots Day. Have faith. You were chosen for a reason. You are being provided with the highest level of intel to ever be dropped publicly in the history of the world. Use it. Protect and comfort those around you. Now, I think that's the most important part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because especially people with Uranus in the bad place in their chart may not do as well with this. Okay? And then there was one that I haven't flipped through and found yet, but supposedly it says goodbye at Jack, and that was posted a couple of years ago. And then there's just one other one that I wanted to show you. This was posted January 13th, 2018. And all it says is CheckMATE and then a letter behind it.
Huh.
Yeah, and so I'm just going to say this. Been watching that as a fringe. Watching it. What is this? It seems to have some validity. However, it also seems to be playing a game. And for me, this is going to be kind of like my final checkpoint. If I don't see something tomorrow that resembles what I just read, then I have to say it's a psyop. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's interesting. CheckMate. So does that astrology look like a checkmate kind of day?
When I look at all that stuff piled up like that, yeah, it's and especially with that, like I said, with that Mars and Uranus like right next to each other, they're like 4 degrees apart, and that has me very concerned. Also, Uranus is square Mercury. It's trine Venus, it's conjunct Mars, it's squared Jupiter, and it's squared Saturn. So this is a lot of the trines and the conjuncts. The trine is beautiful. Yeah. The conjunct can be beautiful. It can be negative too, but it can be beautiful. But the squares are major issues.
Yes. Well, when you think about a square, it's a right angle. It's a hard turn.
Yeah, okay? Right. Exactly.
It's a hard turn. And so those are rough, and having a lot of squares is just...
And then we have the Saturn square Mars.
Right.
And we have the Jupiter square Mars. So... So there's a lot of that going on right now, all these squares. And then there's the North Node square Neptune. Mm-hmm. So in the 12th house. So this is kind of like a revealing kind of day.
Well, I have a feeling it's going to get interesting tomorrow, because I don't think it can go any further. I really don't. And I kind of want to share something I thought about today, something we could all do to help diffuse the energies a little bit, because we're all here for a reason. We're all here for a purpose. All of us. Right. There's no mistake. If you're still here, there's no mistake that you're here for a reason. And I do believe this is a battle bigger than our little minds can comprehend. Because nothing's making sense. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. If you're a logical person, you can't make sense of what's being presented. You just can't. And everybody is ready for this to just stop. And life is not going to go back as normal. I have a feeling we're getting ready. We've entered the age of Aquarius. Everything has changed.
Hang on. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead.
No, because I flipped on the audio to see if it was working on your page, and it was, and I turned it off. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Have you seen how we're blowing the Schumann resonance lately?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is, and I was watching somebody else's video the other night, and something they showed me to look for is when you're looking at the Schumann resonance. Let me see if I can pull one up.
It was doing it again. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm not very tech savvy, but you know, I do want to let people know that, you know, I am restricted from doing a lot of stuff online. So, you know, here we are. So we were able to make it work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. And for some reason, the powers that be always make it difficult for me to speak with you.
Yeah.
Not sure what that's about, but it is what it is.
We have to check and see where the Uranus is in your chart. And the Mercury.
Oh God. Oh God. All right. So let's see. I'm looking up a website to see if I've got the but I just want to show y'all this graphic so you can understand when you're reading the Schumann resonance. I post the Schumann resonance pictures often, and I always have somebody saying, what is that? What does it mean? Okay. And just like the planets are connected to us, so is the Schumann resonance. And what you're looking for when you look for it, and they have websites that have the live data. These big white spots are where we're quote unquote blowing the resonance field. And this is in touch with our pineal gland. And it was an interesting comment made somewhere the other day talking about how different races of people have different levels of calcification to their pineal gland.
Yeah, I was. Did I see that on your page, or did I see that somewhere else?
I think you saw it somewhere else. And yeah, that was a bizarre statement for somebody to make. What does it matter what an Asian's pineal gland is calcified at if this is not a concern for today with everything that's going on? And this was coming from a government official. Okay. And anyway, if you look at this dark blue down here, that's more, if you can think of it as a dampening field. So you can see where the dampening field is bigger, the higher resonance is not. And the higher the resonance is, the lower the dampening field is. Well, we're fixing to blow this thing. And our pineal glands are going to, from what I understand, we're supposed to get full memories back.
Well, I want to say something since you're talking about the pineal gland. I think it's really important.
Okay.
If you are just going to a medical facility or into any other place where they're taking your temperatures and
oh yeah, no,
and you know, definitely screening you for any kind of illness, which
right.
we know that's happening a lot right now.
Yeah.
Do not let them aim the thermometer, the handheld thermometer, at your pineal gland, at your forehead.
No.
Do not allow them to do that.
Well,
they can get the same accurate temperature by aiming that same temperature gun, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
They can aim it at the inside of your wrist or the inside of your elbow, and they can get the same reading. So do not let them aim that thing at your head. That's extremely dangerous. And I wouldn't want to know what could happen 10 or 20 years down the road after you've had, you know, that your temperature taken that way like 25 times or X amount of times.
Yeah. Well, I'll think about this. And I put this, I had a doctor's appointment and they were, doing their normal thing before you walk in the door. And she went to put the thermometer to my head and I just backed up and I said, no. And I held out my wrist. And this poor woman, you would have thought I dumped battery acid on her feet. I mean, she just flipped. And,
Wow.
I know. And so I used the argument instead of hitting her with my new age stuff. Don't point that at my third eye. Because I thought, oh no, that's going to throw her right over the edge. And I need to get in and get this appointment done and over with. I don't have time for this. And so I looked at her and I said, there's a pandemic and you've just put that thermometer in somebody else's face. I would prefer not to have that in my face. Please.
Yeah.
Use my wrist. And I mean, she went sideways, went inside, got the doctor, complained. I'm just like, wow. And this was months ago. People have gotten worse.
Well, if they are educated and they know what they're doing, if they're just like a young person that.
No, this was somebody a little bit older than me.
Wow.
I know. I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't expecting that. And
because nurses know what you're talking about. I mean,
no, I think this was just somebody.
I just said to the nurse, I said,
Yeah.
I'd rather have you take the temperature with my wrist. And, oh, okay, fine. And she did. And she didn't seem to have.
Yeah, the doctor put the poor girl in her place. It was kind of sad that she had to go and disturb the doctor to complain. I'm sure. I don't know. Whatever. God bless her. Love. Love.
But that's anybody who's listening out there. Don't let them do that. And yeah, you can use the line that Kimberly used.
Yeah.
Don't you point that at my third eye. Just say that and say it in a joking manner, and then say here you can get the same reading from inside my elbow or.
No. I didn't say the third eye thing at all because I knew she was just flipped out that I backed up. And I just thought, no, I don't want to do that to her. I'm not here to put you in a pressure cooker, babe. And I just said, you just had that in somebody else's face. There's a pandemic. I don't want what was just in somebody else's face in my face, please. Thank you.
Yeah. And as long as you tell them that the same kind of reading can be taken from the elbow and wrist.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't change it at all. But I'll tell you, I went to the VA a couple times, and it was in May, the first time I was tested, and I had something else going on, of course, and they had no issue with taking my temperature that way, from my wrist or elbow.
Right.
And this last time, same thing. I had a shard of metal in my foot, so I was walking around basically with that in my foot for about a week.
Damn.
And
what foot?
It was. I don't know how I stepped on a shard of metal, but it was in the kitchen, and I think it had something to do with my partner sharpening knives in the kitchen.
Right.
Maybe a little shard of metal had come off or something. Well, it was embedded in my foot. So I had it taken out a couple of weeks ago.
Which foot?
It was my left foot. It was extremely painful.
Everyone right now is having left foot issues. Everyone. And can I tell you why everyone is having left foot issues?
Why?
Because the right foot is about stepping up. And the left foot is about follow through. And about 10 months ago, all of our follow through got halted. And so everybody from their knee down to their foot right now, most of the people that I work with, I take clients, I'd say 80% of them right now, one of the first things that shows as a priority is that area. On just about everybody. And it's because everybody was halted. And so when we're allowed to go back to follow through, because everything's so janky right now. You just about can't get anything done, so it's better to just stay at home. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so once it gets a little unjanky and
Yeah.
unjanky, once it gets unjunked, I think everybody's left foot will feel a little bit better.
I'll tell you, it was embedded in there pretty far, and it was.
And then that's the metal.
extreme-
That's the metal element, and it would be interesting to look at what acupressure point it hit. If that was
Yeah.
a metal meridian. See, this is the way I think. I'm so weird. Like, that's a puzzle. The universe gave you a clue. Let's figure it out.
Well, it was kind of like in the pad below the little toe. That was the area where it was.
That's
And-
the liver meridian, which is wood. And let me see. I got a cheat. Yep, it goes well. Yes, wood balance. It looks like from a backwards over my shoulder point of view, it does look like metal balances wood. So, if we had an appointment right now, Anita, okay, I would tell you that somehow the universe arranged for you to get some serious acupressure or acupuncture there to release a whole bunch of anger. And now you just told me previously that you are having, because of what's in your astrology chart, some issues with that. So the universe worked very diligently to make sure that pressure that was building up there released. Because when you have too much pressure in an acupuncture area, it can actually result in dis-ease in the body, and it can really rapidly.
So that worked out for the best.
Yeah, so it was actually a blessing.
Yeah, being diabetic is pretty scary when you have any kind of foot injury. So that was my big scare.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went in there, the first thing the doctor said, well, let's be on first name basis. She said, I'm a 2-year resident. My name is Michelle. And she goes, I'm going to get this out of your foot. And she did. It took her about 20 minutes. It was not pleasant, but yeah, I do feel better about the anger, because I was pretty friggin' angry.
Yeah, and so
a lot of stuff.
The universe worked really, really hard to help you out there, and they just had to do it violently because it was a violent buildup. Now, one of the affirmations that I recommend for people who are diabetic is life is sweet.
Yeah.
How you doing? Sweet. Delicious. As good as cupcake icing. I mean, just form words of sweetness, because what's happening is the body has this issue, this energetic issue with life being sweet, because you're having an energetic issue of not seeing life as sweet. And that's where a certain part of you is focusing on. And so if we can take that certain part and re-educate it a little bit, say, oh no, dude, life is sweet. It is as sweet as cupcake icing. It's even sweeter than that. It's got some sugar on top of that. It is so sweet. And when you lie to yourself enough and say it, your subconscious doesn't know whether you're lying or not. And so it's going to start reprogramming the energetic issues you have around life being sweet.
That's interesting. I'll work on that. That sounds great.
I mean, isn't it easy? And this human computer, you can really reprogram it. It's not difficult. You just got to know, you got to have that kind of IT degree, I guess.
Yeah. IT degree. I like that. So let me tell you all about the next.
Yes. What's coming?
Yeah, what's coming is, okay. My notes had new moon, January 21, 2021. Well, I don't know if we were online at midnight, but it happened at midnight.
We were getting it together at midnight.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We were getting it together.
The next phase will be the full moon, January 28th. And so that's going to, I think it's on a Tuesday or a Thursday. I don't have a calendar in front of me here, but it'll be, so we're going into the waxing state of the moon. So the energy goes upward from here.
Yes.
From this point.
And it usually, whatever seeds are planted on the new moon come to fruition on the full moon.
Right. So I don't pay too much attention to a lot of the amateur tarot readers, astrologers that are on Instagram, and there's lots of those.
Right.
Because they generally will say it's a full moon, it's time to release this or that or that or that. No. And you don't release on a full moon. You ask for more.
Exactly.
You release on a new moon if there's any kind of energies or things. And tonight it would be, like I said, the energy will be out here for 3 days. So if you did decide to do some inner work, you can still do that and call in time to kind of sync everything up. So you can, like the good witches that we are, we can call in east, west, north, south, all the directions. And then in the center, you just call in time. And
that's a good one. I like that.
So you can work your energy even when that peak time has passed.
Right.
Because it's better to work that energy generally before you get to the peak time. But if you're calling in time, it really doesn't matter.
Well, it's interesting because time right now has become a small t in the equation. It's not the constant that it was even a year ago.
Right.
Okay, so that's just interesting. When you call in time, just remember right now it's more of a variable than it is a constant.
Right, exactly.
And you might want to do like a time anchor maybe. I don't know. I've never done that before. But we're in all new uncharted territory, so we can play.
Well, as a witch, if I was going to call a circle in and do my magical work, I would start, some people start in the east, and a lot of times feminist witches will start in the north because that represents the goddess, and it's also the direction of the pole star,
right?
North Star. So you could do either. It doesn't matter. What feels right to you is what's the most important thing.
Well, as a shaman, we always start where the sun comes up, which is the east.
Yeah, and shamans will start in the north. They'll tell you.
Exactly. Well, that's when you're going for the eagle energy because he's in the north.
Yeah, so, and see, people from the Arctic Circle, for instance, they'll go for the north because that's the bear energy. That's their strong, totem animal.
All right, hold on. I got a segue.
Okay.
I've got a surprise guest, y'all. Hold on. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah. Hold on. Add to screen. Come on. Whoa. There we go.
Whoa,
hey, sweetie.
How you doing, love?
What's up with you, boo?
Coolin', man. Just got back in from the studio, man, working on some things. I'm at my house now, chilling. Happy to come try to join y'all and get some information.
Well, CENO, you're on with Anita. Anita, I know you know CENO. I know you've seen him on my page. CENO and I, brother, man, it is good to see your face.
Right.
Oh, I see you there.
Yes.
How you doing?
It is good to see your face. You want to get some lowdown here. What we're talking about, we're talking about the planets. The planets are all clustered together, okay? And they're in the most important house right now. And so a whole lot of shit is fixing to it because all the planets, Anita has told me that all the planets are above the horizon, except for two, but a majority of them. So that means everything is fixing to come up. Everything is fixing to be shown.
Wow,
Everything's fixing to be pretty transparent.
that's big.
Yeah, baby. It's real big. It's
I,
real big.
I caught a little of what y'all was talking about earlier. Then
Can you get closer to your mic, baby?
can you hear me now? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all gotta excuse the way I look, man. I don't have on any clothes and all that. I'm, like I say, fresh out of the studio and just made it to the house. So I had to throw something on my head and the jacket on so I can, like, get involved. But
What you
like I said,
recording now?
I heard,
What are you recording?
I got a song that I'm doing for women. It's called
Yeah.
Runaway. I got one that's called Runaway, and I have another one that we go on with COVID-19. It's about COVID-19, government, and all this. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Well, look, I want to play it as soon as you get it made.
I
I
got
want to
you.
play it.
You already know whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
But are you ready, CENO? Are you ready to take this and run with it?
What?
The whole world's about to change.
Man, I'm waiting. I'm ready. I'm waiting and ready, man. And like I said, bro, I was hearing some of the stuff y'all was talking about with the how they do the test and putting the stuff on your forehead, and I had no
Right.
idea. I like that's why I said I guarantee you that's probably why like ever since then, because it happened to me. I went into like the I was going to the hospital. I was taking my child, my daughter, to the hospital, right? And I'm in the clinic, and they had these tables set up and all this, and they was trying to have these guns looking things putting on everybody's head, and I ain't
Yeah.
know no better. And they hit me with it, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I ain't really know no better, but ever since then, I guarantee you. I mean, I ain't now that I'm hearing y'all talk about it and hearing what's going on, I have
Yeah.
no doubt in my mind that that's what it is. But like
Yeah.
I get these like spurs of heat wave headaches type.
Well,
And,
baby, right now with the Schumann resonance coming
mm-hmm,
up the way it is, and what's happening is this whole Earth is shifting, coming over the galactic plane. And when we went to the age of Aquarius, we changed everything and we made it. We made it. Okay. I mean, we made it to this point in time. I mean, this is big. This is like a celebration. We made it.
right,
Okay.
right,
Everything's about to change.
right,
Everything's about to change. And I really have this gut feeling that in a really good way, those of us that are the lovers, the creators, the passionate ones, the empaths, that if we really ground the love right now, if we grab it and we take hold of it and we demand peace, that we're going to have the beautiful new world. We
right,
really,
right,
really are. I feel it.
right,
I mean, I feel it in my heart.
right. I'm with you. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree, man. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah. I think you just started that music company, right?
Right, right, right. We got the company. I got new magazine. We just finna launch a new magazine that's probably gonna. I want to say we're gonna our first issue will be coming out in March,
Yeah.
March, sometime. Either
Right
March
on.
and
CENO,
also
big things. This is fixing up. It's going to be so huge. I feel it because
right,
it's your time finally. It is your time.
we did that. We got some stuff. Writing some new songs also for a couple big people. You know what I'm saying? Had some stuff we was doing for Snoop Dogg and
Hold on.
a couple more artists. I
Okay.
Can you
just
hear
got
me,
a
Anita?
huh.
A little bit. It's kind of garbled.
Okay. All right. I
Can
was
you hear
just
me?
seeing if Anita could hear you. She can't really hear you. So
Let
um,
me hold on. Let me try to
go ahead. Tell me what's going on.
get somewhere I can. Let me probably go in my bathroom. Maybe you can see better.
No, it's because I've got her on a cell phone. It was weird. She's getting blocked, and so we just figured out a way around it. I wish she was on here with me live, but she is just on the phone.
Can you hear me? Can you see me? Everything straight?
I can see you. Yeah,
Trying to get
I can
to
see
a
you.
place where y'all can hear me and see me. How about now?
I can see you, boo.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
And, like I say, we got some stuff we doing with
Oh,
Snoop
I
Dogg.
can see him better now.
Huh?
Now we just got to get the sound fixed.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
song?
So
Let me get something.
Yeah.
Let me see something. Hold on. My earbuds or something.
this is what happens when you have a show at midnight.
Yeah.
And it's all a little janky. I tell you what, I'll be ready for that new internet.
Yeah,
and
if
the
it
new
works better than
phones.
this one.
Yeah, the new
For
phones,
sure.
the new internet. I can't wait for all that.
I'm coming.
Okay.
This old internet has become pretty drudge-worthy.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. It's top heavy.
And it's not really fun.
No, it's top heavy. It's just too top heavy. It's time to streamline it again. I remember internet before there was ads.
Right.
How about now?
Yeah, baby, I can see it. Anita's probably not going to be able to hear you, but I can hear you. So what's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
You're a Leo, Anita?
I'm a Leo.
Okay, yeah. Leo is you like the center stage.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I can't hear her. She said, "What now?"
She said you like the center stage, and that couldn't be any. I know, right? It's CENO.
Come on.
Madonna and Mick Jagger and people like that are born performers.
So
that's just what they like to do. They
So
like to be in the center, everybody's center of attention, pretty much.
all right. So she said along the lines of Mick Jagger, baby.
Oh man, that's a big shooter field.
I know. So what are you doing? What are you doing in the studio? What do you got going on with this magazine? Tell me what's going on.
Well, we just finished the song. We got a song called "Runaway." Then, like I said, we got the song with COVID-19 that we call COVID and COVID and it's the title is COVID and Government. I know it's a crazy title. That's what they wanted. Also, we got the magazine we launching and probably go launch it in March somewhere. Just wrote a song with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg just wrote a song for him. One of my partners, I just got off the phone with Prozac. Shout out to Prozac out up in Vegas. Out of Las Vegas. He that's Teddy Riley's one of Teddy Riley's closest friend, and he just did the song for Snoop Dogg with us E40, Too Short, Be Legit. And so now I got another song that I'm trying to get with the sale to Cardi B. And and other than that, I'm taking
what's
classes
happening.
right now.
It's really happening.
Oh yeah.
And look,
it's coming together.
I want to tell people, man, when I first met CENO, I was working for an agent, and he just pulled me out on one of CENO's video shoots, right? And I mean, it was all crazy, and so I'm listening to this song in the background. I didn't know you yet. I didn't know you, okay? And so I'm listening to this song. Now I'm the shaman, okay, trying to fit in, working a normal job, right? And so I'm listening to your music, and the song was, well, I guess we can say it. Fuck how it turns out, right? FHITO. And so I'm listening to the lyrics, and I'm going, oh damn, this guy's a wizard and don't even know it. Right. And so I kind of talked to you about it. I'm like, so what you mean by this FHITO? What you mean? And so you tell me what you mean by FHITO.
And that's and when I first met her, the FHITO song, like she said, was playing, and it was like, fuck how it turned out. Just whatever the situation is, just what I'm saying, because whatever's gonna be, is gonna be. We can't change. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
just let it go and live your best life. Do what you can, correct what you can, and enjoy whatever it is there is to enjoy. But
Yeah.
the thing is, like my first time ever seeing her, meeting her, I
Yeah.
was dumped. I fell in love. Like her energy was so like the energy. I'm like, bro, I can't even explain it. She had this energy about herself, and I was like, man, it's something about you. It's something about you. And we've been rocking ever since, man. I love her to death. That's my big sister. That's my heart. That's my baby. I love her to death, man. And
Oh, baby.
she's a go getter. She wears a lot of hats. I can say that. And
Yeah.
she deserved everything that she is. Like she's very special. Like for real, for real. And I love
Oh,
you to
CENO.
death, man. For real.
I love you too. And man, we've made memories already, and you fixing to make so many more. I want
Right,
to.
right.
Can I play your FHITO song? Can I
Yeah,
let people see
man.
that? I know it's all old now, right?
Whatever you like, I said, whatever you want to do, man. It's all love with me. Anything I can do to help you or be there for you or need to do for you, you just call me. I got you. If anything,
All right. Well, you know what? You know what I need, CENO?
what you need, like,
And I need it desperately.
uh huh.
I need a pretty cool intro and outro to my show.
I got you. I got you. I
Okay.
got you. I got you. Just give me like the information or what how you want it to
I
go,
yeah.
and I'll get on it. And I'll
All
get
right.
on
Well,
it.
I'm going to share the screen. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is doing this video. All right. And I'm going to tell the story behind it. Right. Because there's some story behind this. All right.
Right,
So
right.
I'm in the office that day. Right.
Uh-huh.
And the girls they're just freaking out because you were putting stuff post on Instagram
Right.
and y'all were shooting the video and it was a little risque at first. And
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, they were panicking and oh no and oh no and we got to change this and so about halfway through the video you can see where they pulled me in and said all right, hold on. I keep on. I'm new at this tech. Y'all be patient. Y'all be patient. I'm just I can make it stop raining, but I can't make the screen share.
Right. That was big. That was
Right.
big. That was big. And hey, and like I said,
Yeah.
it
So
was love
anyway,
at
yeah,
first.
we're shooting on a tarmac, which all right, so you can't even get permission to do this.
Right.
But yeah, we got permission, okay? And so the agent, he's all freaking out because oh, it's raining and we're paying for the video crew and all this and blah 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 and I'm like, dude, don't worry, I got the rain. The rain will stop once I get there. And everybody thought I was crazy. I went and stood out on the tarmac, did my thing, came back in 5 minutes later. What was going
It's
on?
it stopped raining. It stopped raining. And I'm like, what? Cause when she was saying, I got it, I got it, I got the rain, I'm like, I didn't understand at first. I didn't understand
Right.
at first. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she said, I got it. Watch. And I'm like, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? And like it really stopped raining. It
Yeah.
stopped
I
raining, like
mean,
for real.
look,
Like,
stopping as long as it's not hurricane weather.
mm-hmm. Hello? Hello? Babe.
I'm good.
Cut your radio up.
I'm about to head to the club and get it crack. Got a pocket full of money cause I'm static. I see a couple bad bitches out your hand. I keep the tool on me in case something happens. Fuck I turn out. 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 Joe Slow, 318 LVO. I'm in the VIP with very important people. You see me, you see CENO and the CENOs. Fuck how I turn out, I'm hollering at FHITO. Look, I don't mind Migo, so I get it El Cheapo. I'm icy like the Eskimo and froze below zero. Branches keep nagging in my ear like they mosquito. These niggas super saver hoes like the hero. They be calling, they been asking, having bought. I've been stacking, got the whole pot divided into fractions with my soldiers in my captains. I'm lieutenant, like what's happening? Fuck how I turn out, lights never out. I'm about to head to the club and get it crack. Got a pocket full of money cause I'm static. I see a couple bad bitches out your hand. I get the tool on me in case something happens. Fuck I turn out. 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 Fuck I turn out.
Pocket full of money, feeling good, about to roll up. Got a couple bad bitches acting bad up on the show, but pop rocket, let's throw up the bottles, pop it, let's blow up. If a nigga disrespected, the Glock's cocky, you know us, nothing but us, we burning out. We had the cover, we turn it out. Bullet them drugs and they can't deny. We been higher, take up in the spot. FHITO, that's all that we know. Anywhere that we go, we got this bitch, cheesing like Doritos. Who got the ball? Who got the ball? Who got the ass? Who got the green? Oh, you got the lines, just tell me you have it. Bitches and dabs, that's all that we need. I'm slow and see. Got this freak on face, I'm twerking, hollering, FHITO, call it taco, that's my vato, why he thugging like it's legal.
I'm about to head to the club and get it crack. Got a pocket full of money cause I'm static. I see a couple bad bitches out your hand. I get the tool on me in case something happens. Fuck I turn out. 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 Fuck I turn out.
Can you hear me? Kim, can you hear me? You can hear me? I love you. I love you. I love you. That's my baby. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything.
Oh, y'all couldn't hear me, could you? Anita could hear me. CENO couldn't hear me. My bad. Y'all, if y'all need a reading, okay, contact Anita. She's at Tarot and Stars. And my schedule's kind of full, been kind of crazy, but starting next week, I'm going to have more time. So if you want to get in line and get on the appointment list, just let me know. You might want to get in line. You might need it. You might need it. And if you just want to call and talk, an appointment's an appointment. Anita, me, we're here for y'all. Okay. And CENO, I need to get your information. message me what your new record label is, okay, so I can get the props on there. And everybody, y'all peace out. Y'all go forward, and y'all have faith that everything's going to be amazing, okay? Do good, love one another. It's all good, okay? Peace out.
Okay. Good night.
Night. Love y'all.